Following the shooting that took place in Odessa, Texas over the weekend, both Walmart and Kroger, which is a grocery store, have decided that they are going to change what they will allow in their stores and also what they are willing to sell. So Kroger has released a statement saying that it is respectfully asking that customers no longer openly carry firearms into our stores other than authorized law enforcement officers. Jessica Adelman, who is the VP of Corporate Affairs, also says, we are also joining those encouraging our elected leaders to pass laws that will strengthen background checks and remove weapons from those who have been found to pose a risk for violence. Now, Walmart has also joined in on making some changes, which is definitely invited. Walmart said it will formally end handgun sales and ask customers not to openly carry firearms. Walmart also announced that it will be discontinuing sales on certain types of ammunition, including short barrel rifle ammunition. It also said it will discontinue handgun sales in Alaska, which is the only state in the country where the company still sells guns.
Yeah, so if you're watching this in any other country, you've got to be thinking, wait, this is a debatable issue in America? And yes, the right wing has reacted with fury. Like what? I can't bring an assault rifle and openly carry it when I'm shopping for cereal? What kind of country is this, man?
Well, look,
I mean, what if I had to murder half the store? Like every other country's like, what? Even in Afghanistan, they're like, man, I don't think I want to go to America. It sounds really dangerous.
We have more guns per capita than Somalia does. Like that stat always.
And Yemen and every other country on the planet by a lot.
So I actually want to go back to what you said about the right wing losing it over this. Because from what I've seen, it's not necessarily conservative voters. In fact, a lot of conservative voters are showing up to town halls demanding that Republican lawmakers pass common sense gun control. And you look at the polls and over 90% of Americans want robust background checks. Now, with that said, and they want to close the loopholes to these background checks. Now, with that said, public figures on the right are losing it over the decisions of these private companies. Okay, so the NRA released a statement saying it is shameful to see Walmart succumb to the pressure of anti-gun elites. Lines at Walmart will soon be replaced by lines at other retailers who are more supportive of America's fundamental freedoms. That's not true. That's not gonna happen. Good luck with that.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Walmart's panicking as we speak.
Yeah.
Okay, so listen, I'm gonna get to the second half of the story, which is really interesting about how corporations now rule us all. So that's the downside of the story. But to continue on this, if sometimes American tourists will go to a different country, Israel, Turkey, wherever they might go, and they'll see guys in military fatigues and assault rifles, or cops with assault rifles in front of a bank or an embassy, etc. And they'll come back and they'll be like, oh, I don't know, man. I don't know. That it felt weird to see that. It's kind of jarring to see. We have randos with assault rifles walking malls and shopping stores, buying pickles and mayonnaise, and then if you bump into them, God knows who they're going to murder, right? And we have mass shooting defined as 4 people getting shot literally every single day in America, okay?
Yep.
And so all those other countries that feel unsafe to you, like every once in a while I get a question, oh, is it safe to go to this country? No, is it safe to stay here is the real question. So Kroger and Walmart are doing the most obvious things. Can you please have a shirt on, have shoes on, and don't murder all of our customers? And the NRA is like, oh, oppression. Now look at this, the elites don't want to be murdered at Kroger. This is insanity.
Dozens of people were just killed at a Walmart in El Paso, Texas, right? So maybe this type of move makes a lot of sense for a store like Walmart. And by the way, I just want to read one other right-winger who thinks this is unacceptable, and that person is Ben Shapiro, who said the left has found a new way of implementing policy from the top down without the use of government. Simply pressure massive corporations to do their political bidding. So I don't know. I mean, I feel like that's how the so-called free market is supposed to work. So people are aggrieved at the practices of a given company, and the market adjusts, the company adjusts. This is their entire argument, right?
Yeah.
I mean, an idiot like Dave Rubin will say, no, we don't need regulations because people can just pressure these companies. They can write negative reviews on Yelp, and then out of the kindness of their hearts, these companies are gonna change their behaviors. Here we have an example of that working to some extent. I mean, Yelp isn't involved. And they're upset about it, and they're arguing that this is a top-down approach. How is this a top-down approach?
Yeah.
Average Americans are sick of this.
So I don't know if you saw, Dave Rubin just got a job with Blaze TV.
Oh, I saw it.
Yeah, because Glenn Beck loves to work with classic liberals. Okay, anyway, back to Ben Shapiro. So I love this hypocrisy on 18 different grounds. So first of all, Ben Shapiro in the past has led protests and boycott movements. The famous one against Ritz Crackers. Oh, right, not famous at all, didn't work. Look, jokes, etc. aside, conservatives have led boycotts of Disney. It was one of the most epic failures of all time. Remember Nike and Keurig coffee and all the things. Like whenever you turn on Fox News now, you see some conservative be like, oh, me smash, me burn, oh, me hate Nike. Nike stock goes up $6 billion.
Yeah.
Okay, me hate Keurig, me smash coffee over my head. Keurig stock goes up. Okay, so you know what happened, guys? We won. We won the free market debate. So there's more of us. There's more progressives in the country, more sane people in the country than you lunatics. So, the free market, you wanted it, you got it.
Exactly.
So there's more customers, clients that are progressives, that are rational. So now all of a sudden they go, oh, boycotts, which they love. You saw it on Fox News over and over and over again. None of them ever work because there's not enough of them, right? There's only a certain percentage of lunatics in the country. So now that the protests and the boycotts aren't working, which they love doing, they're like, oh, free market sucks. I hate the free market. Cenk, I don't live like a capitalist every day. I hate capitalism. What? Say that again? Say that again?
No, it's actually pretty incredible because in the context of this story, they will argue, no, but this isn't how the free market works. This isn't how the free market is supposed to work. It's just a small, loud majority that's applying political pressure, which is why Walmart and Kroger made this decision. Let me tell you something. At the end of the day, these corporations have absolutely they don't have values, they don't have morality. They're not thinking about anything other than their bottom line, their financial incentives, how they can make the most possible money. And if you look at polls, you will see that the vast majority of Americans, despite what the NRA says, want common sense gun legislation. People are sick of it. So they are responding to what the majority of Americans want. And they're not doing it out of the kindness of their own hearts. They're doing it because they're concerned about their financial incentives.
Because most rational human beings, when they walk into Kroger is the largest grocery store in the country. Walmart, obviously the largest chain store, period. And when you walk in to get Fruity Pebbles and you've got your kids with you and you see some lunatic walking around with an assault rifle or any kind of weaponry, what do? What do most rational dads and moms do? They leave the store in case the thing goes off accidentally or that guy gets upset. And I've seen mass shootings every day in the news. You immediately walk out of the store. Bad for business. I mean, they require you to have a shirt and no one goes crazy, right?
Right.
But they're saying, how dare you ask us to put away our assault rifles next to your baby? Okay, it's last thing, guys. The downside to this story is we now have rule by corporations.
That's right, yep.
And so I had a great progressive activist on the Young Turks. In the third hour, we do interviews, it's called A Conversation. And he explained that they were doing a movement against it and it worked and wonderful. And it worked only because there were more of us and more customers on our side than their side, etc. And so it was a great thing for him to do. But it's a sad state of affairs in a democracy when we have to beseech corporations to take action. Because if you notice, it wasn't just that they banned it in their stores, they then asked the government to take action. Because the government doesn't listen to citizens, it only listens to corporations. So we have to pressure Walmart for Walmart to pressure politicians. So the only thing that could beat other PACs and lobbyists and corporations is even larger corporations. So progressives rationally, as activists go, oh, who cares about writing letters and actually having your constituents talk to you because we know for a fact your constituents aren't gonna matter to the politicians because they're almost all corrupt. But if we can get Walmart and Kroger to ask you to do it, then Marco Rubio might actually listen.
It's amazing.
And so that's the situation we're in now, where different corporations, it's almost like they're running Congress. We should just
they've been running Congress.
No, 100%. But now it's gotten like so brazen. Kroger's gonna go on TV and to debate the NRA or to debate Smith and Wesson, and then whoever wins, right? And by the way, it'll be the one with more money. Then all the politicians will vote on their side. This is a sick state of affairs. Like what you see? Click the subscribe button below and don't forget to ring the bell to never miss another video from the Young Turks.